Hello, Math 2 students. This is Miss Blackburn. This is my first video that I'm going to be posting to my YouTube account about geometry. And I just wanted to clarify some things that you all have had questions about. So for our NTI week this week, geometry is going to be a little bit different than science is. What we're going to do in geometry is that I've given you a packet that's been sent home in your manila folder, and you're going to take pictures of these worksheets that you have done, and you're going to actually post pictures of those on Google Classroom. I have a place for you to turn those into on Google Classroom. And here's the thing. With science, I will have a daily assignment that really needs to be turned in that day if possible. Now, we have a little bit of wiggle room because I know some of your parents are working and you might need some help. So I want you to try to follow that as well as you can in science. In math, too, I just want to make sure that I have all of these pictures of all of your worksheets submitted to the Google Classroom assignment that I've posted by Friday. So you can work at your own pace. I know some of you all are just like math whizzes and you eat this stuff up and love it and will finish it in just a little while. Some of us take a little bit longer. I'm actually somebody who takes a little bit longer as well. So as long as you have all these turned in by Friday, we are good. If you need any individual help or have individual questions, please don't hesitate to call me, FaceTime me, text me between 8 and 3 each school day, and I'm so happy to help. Some of you I've already FaceTimed with. That's actually why I'm making the video. So moving right along, these are the types of worksheets that I have sent home, because up here at the top, you'll notice that on these sheets, you have these sections that don't really have questions. They just have information. And what this is this is information that is designed to help you answer the questions at the bottom. Now, it's called reteaching, but actually it's teaching for us because we haven't gone over this just yet. But this gives you the information that you're going to need to answer those questions. So the first topic that we're going to start talking about in this new unit are three-dimensional figures, okay? We've been working in two dimensions in geometry so far. We've been talking about like a square has length and width, things like that. 2 dimensions. So now we're going to add another dimension because the world is 3-dimensional, okay? And so we get shapes called polyhedrons that we're going to start looking at and analyzing in geometry. Now, a polyhedron is going to be, there are 2 categories. We have prisms and pyramids, okay? Prisms will be things like boxes, and basically what you need to know about polyhedron prisms is that they're going to have 2 bases. Like, for example, a box, you could turn on its side several different ways, okay? Now, pyramids are only going to have 1 base. See down there? All right? So they're only going to have 1 base. You can't necessarily put them on all their sides. So over here, this little box is super, super helpful, and that's really what I wanted to go over with you today, because the rest you can kind of read and see, like these are polyhedrons. There are 2 categories, prisms, pyramids. These are not, okay? And then we have nets, which kind of you would fold into a solid. And I actually sent a pack of nets home with you for next week's NTR week, and I will be posting a video on how to do that later this week or the beginning of next week. So let's look at this box. So these words, vertices, edges, faces, and bases, are going to be words that should be familiar because we've actually, maybe everything but a base and a face. Vertices and edges are things that we have talked about before. So vertices, that's just the plural of the word vertex. A vertex is just going to be a point where 2 lines meet. So H right here is a vertex, and I might color code this for us so we can see it better. I is a vertex. J is a vertex. K is a vertex, and L is a vertex. So all these are our vertices of this shape, okay? We call this a square pyramid because guess what shape that bottom is? It's a square, okay? That's our base. So I'm kind of going out of order. The base is the square HIJL, HIJL, okay? That's our base. See how this works? Okay, now our edges are actually going to be just that, edges. We have the edge HI right here. See that? HI, IJ, JL, see that's an edge, LH, HK, that's an edge, IK, JK, and LK. Right there in the back, and the ones in the back are usually shown as a dotted line because when we're working with three-dimensional shapes, it's hard to draw them on a two-dimensional page. So the back sides will usually be dotted lines in these figures. So the faces are actually going to be the shapes that make up this three-dimensional figure. Now, if you notice on this pyramid, we have here it's saying the faces are these little triangles. Notice that? So triangle HIK, HIK is a face. Okay? IJK, IJK is also a face. Okay? And then finally, HK or HLK is a face. Okay? Back there. And so those are our faces. So remember, we have talked about how to name things in geometry, particularly lines and angles and triangles, and you're just using all those same skills that we've already used to talk about these solid figures, I'm sorry. So down here, like for example, number 1 says classify the polyhedron, name all the vertices, edges, faces, and bases. So down here, you're just going to classify what it is, and I'll go ahead and tell you the answer on this one. If we look at it, okay, and it doesn't just have, if it has more than one base, okay, and it looks like I could put this on its side like that, so it's going to be a prism. So this is going to be a prism. And then I'll just start naming the vertices. And basically, you name all the points here. So it would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. Okay, I won't do the whole thing for you. All right, I'll have to name my edges. So here my edges would be, and if you notice up here, there's kind of a pattern to this. Your vertex, your vertices will be one letter because they're individual points. Your edges are lines, so you're going to have 2 letters, okay? And your faces will be shapes that are made up of more than one line, so you're going to have more than 2 letters for your faces. So for my edges, I'm looking for 2 letters. So for example, KI is an edge. Line KI. IH is an edge. GH is an edge. And if you just trace around with your pencil, you're going to be able to name all those edges. Now, my faces here would be like K. I'll use a different color so you can see it. KEDI. KEDI. And they're going to be squares, right? Okay, so we have square faces. And then finally, this one's kind of weird. Our base, we're going to have 2 bases. So if you notice down here at the bottom, we have a pentagon for our bases. We have 2 of them. So we would have FGHIK. FGHIK is one base, and the other one would be ABCDE. Now, I didn't complete this, so I'm going to leave it up to you to complete this because I don't want to have a 30-minute video here. So this is how you do this, okay? If you have any more questions, you can FaceTime me, text me, email me, whatever we got to do to make sure we got it. But just a reminder and just a little bit of encouragement, a lot of this is just a culmination of all the other things that we've talked about in geometry so far. So just because you're seeing new vocabulary, just because you're seeing some more complex images, it doesn't mean that you aren't able to do it. All of this should be familiar. We're just kind of building on our learning. So hope this helps. I will post more math videos soon. Again, contact me if you need me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.